We're back with Final Fantasy 15. We are on a new game plus, mostly just kind of, let it load for a minute here, mostly just kind of letting it play through and get to post-game, so then we can go back and catch all the hunts and catch all of the other little things out there that we have passed. Mostly want to do it just because I like wrapping up everything when I have the freedom to go everywhere and the better abilities and the stronger abilities.
Filled her up for you.
Thanks.
So that's where I'm that's kind of how
Ready to
we're
roll?
playing through this.
Let's get this show on the
time.
road.
Be a decent chance to kind of remember or see if there's any differences between
Morning.
the new game
Who's
and
ready
New
to
Game
kick some
Plus.
ass?
Help us get some of the cinema and the storyline again, and then hopefully, you know, find a few things that we may have missed the first playthrough through. I'm not promising I'll get every single item in the game. This is a very expansive, deep game with a lot of little hidden secrets, but like I said, we're going to get through the storyline.
Looking at
first,
the
and then
regalia
dive
really
into
reminds me of
specials.
home.
It sure doesn't look like any of the cars you see around here.
And it's a lot roomier, too. I can't imagine trying to cram 5 people, including Gladdy, into one of those things. Have you ever ridden in one?
Can't say we have.
There was barely enough room for our luggage. Thank goodness you guys could give me a lift.
Think the others made it to Kayam all right?
I suppose we'll find out when we get there.
There's already people on the car ride. If you're not actually out in like the wilderness hunting monsters, which is not
Whoa, check it out. See that? That's the Rock of Ravito. I'm like 90% sure.
Not 100.
You almost know your stuff.
All thanks to Jared.
Those points in battle, but I would suggest one, leveling up your ability grid. your
Thank you for
ascension
driving,
grid,
Ignis.
is what it is.
Pleasure.
Are you the only one that drives?
I can drive.
that
So
things
can
will
I.
give you
It's not like Iggy's the only one who can drive.
maybe.
He's just the only one we can trust.
Wow, are they that bad?
Not bad at all, right? Right. But there's no way the big guy's taking any chances with his little sister in the car.
So, yeah, the ability points. It really
Sure you
depends
don't
on
need a
how-
break?
I'm okay.
You are sandwiched in back there. Have Prompto suffer instead.
Really, it's fine. No suffering here.
If you say so.
But yeah, depending on if you fish more, or if you camp more, or try to take more photos, you might want to start bumping up those so you get the ability points from those items.
I got some bad
That's what
news,
you're
guys.
more often.
Oh, great. Another floating fortress.
Let's pull over.
Knocked.
Relax. We've got this.
Alright, we're going to get a little detour here and take care of those guys. Let's try to pay attention to all the little things here. It's not as clear as I would like it to be.
Taking matters into hand?
Delivering justice for Jared. And for Talcott, too.
Iris, I'll need you to wait here.
All right.
Yep. Gotta keep her safe. Is it already going to... Trying to see if I can fuel up.
Careful, Noct. Only fools rush in. I suggest we review our intelligence and devise a plan.
Yeah. Okay. Come on. Sometimes the view is not. I guess we're still good on gas. So I already feel better. Yeah, and see, there it is. So the very first time I played through this, something had happened where we had gotten out of the car and
Surprised to see him this far out.
maybe it
Leave no
froze
plot
for
of
a
land
second
unconquered.
or glitched.
Those
and
aren't
I don't know if
conquering
I noticed
numbers.
or not. but
Likely building a
nothing
supply
really
line, it'll
seemed,
behoove us to cut.
out of the ordinary. I saw that Iris left the party and that she was standing there, But what I had noticed is that nothing, I couldn't click on anything. I mean, there were no
Oh, looks the same as
interactions. I
before.
couldn't get back in the
Looks can be
car.
deceiving.
I couldn't
We beat
get,
them once. They won't make it easy this
into,
time.
this menu at all. I couldn't pick up any of the
And neither
items
will
that
we.
were on the ground or talk or wave to anybody. So there was clearly like something wrong, but it had told me that you were in, like you were going into.
You think Iris is doing all right?
a part of the
She is
storyline that
all
would be
alone.
long and you wouldn't be able to turn back.
She's
or,
a big
you know,
girl.
Save.
She'll be fine.
So I understood that and I kept going. And I searched all around this fort, but the real issue is this symbol had never popped
Iris
up.
isn't exactly
So
a
that was
bring 'em
kind of
on
a big
backstreet brawler, is she?
indicator.
Well, she's tough,
That had
but I'd feel better if we got this
cautioned
over
me,
with and
because
got back on the road.
Pretty good, at least for any storyline quest, at really telling you like you need to go over here and search around. You know, here is the indicator. Like, go over to this area.
Imperials
and go
above us!
X number of feet or so away. That looks like it could be. We have a battle. This would be more of one of the random occurrences, I think.
Last thing I need now. Eyes peeled! Mouth closed!
And like this, you know, just blob of dead would be really nice.
What's the idea? I'm one of the good guys.
done.
Remember? Didn't mean to do that.
And they'll usually be at least two different style, I think. Trying to look over their weapons here if it shows, maybe not, but usually there's like two different types of soldiers that will come out, but there are a few different patterns and different types of soldiers altogether that can come out of varying strengths. But usually at least two different ones will come out. But it can vary and change a little bit. I mean, you're fighting an empire, so they're not always sending the grunts after you. Very nice. Rare coin. I mean, yeah, we searched all around this place, and it drove me nuts. Found a couple hidden items and stuff. I don't want to know, because my luck, I'll go on the wrong side of the fence. But there are, I mean, definitely survey this place. I did it at night, so maybe that had something to do with it not triggering. You know, maybe there was a time of day or something that went off. Just like going right past this guy. I don't even think we have to do anything to him. And I was pretty convinced, yeah, this was the tower we need to come to. So, if that happens to you, even just a heads up, like exit out, start over again. Something might have happened with the game. It wasn't you not speaking to the right person or not speaking to the right quest line. Weird things can happen. Why are you not going to do warp strike, buddy?
This'll be quick. Get back! You said it.
Get them all? We got them all. Horrible.
Onward!
Yep.
Let's see. No. I thought it was. There's one of these buildings that had a, yeah, there. Definitely take your time and search around. I don't think I'm going to. But there are some great, some good items around here. Just I got that rare coin, for example. Coins are really good for experience building in the crafting for magic. We can take a look at
So,
it too.
what's our plan?
Find the base commander and take him into custody. Targeting metal men will yield little in the way of reconnaissance, but bones bend easily. We'll split into two groups of two. Prompto and Gladio will generate a diversion.
Oh yeah, making a scene's what I do best.
This is exactly
Knocked.
what we want here.
Are you prepared?
Yeah, see, we never had the
Operation
option
To
either
Catch a
begin
Commander
with.
is go.
So yeah, we did it right. Yeah, when we got up to the tower last time and then nothing triggered, we looked out, nothing was working. It was like the whole base was empty. So this time it was done right. I want to tell you that and warn that because it did happen to me, and I assume it could happen to others. And a lot of times in these games, you're just like, oh, I didn't talk to the right person, or maybe I just didn't go to the right area and cross this right line for it to all trigger locationally or geographically. But in the way I played it, it was kind of like I got out of the car,
insolence
Iris
of that
left the party,
up-jumped
and then
mercenary.
nothing was clickable.
And there is still no word. This cannot be borne. Such behavior besmirches his Radiance's good name.
That's our target. Let's follow him.
Oh, okay.
Seize him on my signal. Stay hidden till then.
So do I take all of those guys out then?
What is that Chancellor playing at? I'm no man's fool. He sent Highwind to watch me.
I feel like it would work to kill anybody, even though it's a silent attack. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna make our way through here as stealthily as possible. The more rare fish you catch, the faster your fishing skill will grow. Yeah, our fishing skill is at the bottom. Not really, but close to. I have not really wanted to spend a lot of time on fishing. There were a lot of other things I enjoyed more in the game. Not to say that I didn't go out and buy some lures and things. I just found it.
Don't fall too far behind.
It's no mere coincidence she and I meet wherever I go. Claims to trust her as a person. Hollow words from the mind behind the Magitech movement. Who goes there?
I
There's a
got
time to fight and a time to flee. This is the latter.
wah wah wah. I mean, I guess there was nothing really to hide behind. I was making some loud footsteps. We'll just start over. Wah wah. Most of what I found in this game, like, you have a few of these different, I guess, tracking type quests at best, and I don't really think any of them are hard, especially
What is
if
that
you've
Chancellor
played any
playing
actual
at?
stealth games.
I'm no man's fool. He sent Highwind to
They
watch
are
me.
very easy if you've played, real stealth games. But they still try to implement the concept and the tactics in here, so it is fun, it is nice, but you have to have patience, really. I don't know if it's exactly fun is the best word, but it's a change so that you're not exactly grinding out and doing the same thing every time. These forts are meant to use some tactics instead of just go in there and blow them up, which I like to do anyways. And then they do give you, I would feel kind of like your reward, so you can just go and boom, just wreak havoc.
It's no mere
after a point.
coincidence she and I
Have
meet
fun,
wherever
get
I
some
go.
combat experience.
Claims to trust her as a person. Hollow words from the mind behind the Magitech movement. Who goes there?
Are you kidding me?
There's a time to fight and a time to flee. This is the latter.
Wow. Okay. Let's be a little more cautious then of what we need to do here. I guess maybe we are going to have to start taking out and sniping people then. So we're not exactly going to be able to play the best stealth. So I'm okay with that then. And yeah, it seemed kind of.
What is that Chancellor playing at? I'm no man's fool. He sent Highwind to watch me. goes there?
There's a time to fight and a time to flee.
I'm super confused now. I'm making this way harder than it needs to be. So let's try to pay attention to see what I'm missing here. Yeah, well, they have no problem with that, but...
What is that Chancellor playing at? I'm no man's fool. He sent Highwind to watch me.
Can't see me up here. I feel like he might be able to know. Hide. This will be good enough.
Hollow words from the mind
Should be getting closer. So there we go, you know. A lot of times I have found too, there is openness on the warp points, but in a sense they kind of do just funnel you in a area of interest in a sense. So we just warped to one warp point and then kept looking, and that's when we would either hit warp point.
I may
or
have acted in
another,
haste with that impudent
soldier.
steward back in Lestalem, but my mission remains clear. And I'll be damned if
If you're
that
having
mercenary
some
gets her
trouble maybe
grubby
seeing or
hands on
finding
Prince
out the
before
point angle or
Caligo
what
Aldor.
should be, yeah, maybe try kind of warping up a little bit higher or so. Ooh, that was almost too close. Part of me does want to go up. Hopefully I can see if there's any other soldiers anywhere. Oh. Just try to jump over. Okay, that was not how I planned, but we made it work.
I'll give Highwind one last chance to respond. Stand guard here. If the Commodore arrives, send her through.
I'm sure we're gonna have to go up and over somehow. Okay. Do you see a warp point over there?
Now's your chance, Noct. Close in from behind. And remember, we need him alive.
Bam. Okay. It was not hard, just had to
You're
look
in
for the right
fine
place.
form. Keep it up. Looks like
Basically,
they've set to work.
I'll stay up on the high route so we get a better deal.
You regroup with the others.
Guess it's time to let loose.
Give me something, Marty.
We're here.
Glad to see you lot were successful.
Does that mean you weren't?
I placed our captive into the hunter's custody, but I've just been informed he's fled. He lives to die another day.
And I'll gladly help him with that.
So the whole guy we got after just fled anyways? I think that's what I just heard. Alright. Ooh. Nice. Well, we're in the middle of this base. I just want out. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. I expected more. This girl.
Hey, pretty boy. Let's see what you can do. Take this. Pathetic.
Ain't got much life left. Show no mercy.
Is it that time already?
What time?
Cool.
Quitting time.
Next down.
Sorry, but this girl doesn't work after hours. I could, but there wouldn't be a single gill in it for me. We should play again sometime, pretty boy.
Nice excuse for not wanting to fight me.
The hell was she?
Bulletproof suit. Very nice.
I'm still worried about Iris.
I imagine she's fine.
But we
Those
shouldn't
are,
keep her waiting.
Okay, there we go. Those bulletproof vests are really nice when you go to infiltrate these forts or barricades or whatever you want to call them, because they just basically help you reduce damage from the bullets. So that's the majority of the weapons, at least the ranged weapons, they are going to be using at you, at least for the soldiers. So it's just, yeah, a great way to help take even less damage if you fail to dodge one of the blasts or bullets. Okay, it is nice we get these little tips here and there, some lore between the load screens. And they kind of, well, this can come up because we just kind of finished a whole storyline. And
Did you
changed
kick their
a lot of
asses?
things.
Oh, yeah.
All in the
Now.
day's work.
Hey, mind if I hang in your guys' room for a bit?
Yeah, the fort is completely empty there unless you actually trigger this event. You can't even really get in or do anything about it. 115 AP. I wanted to look at this. I actually, yeah, no, my fish is the lowest. I figured it would be. I could do more cooking. I just don't because I'm not really at a lot of campsites.
Wow.
There we go. So yeah, my cooking isn't as high as it is. It's very important though, if you know like you're going into a dungeon or you're going up to even like that fort or something that will be a little bit harder, find a campsite, cook some food, you know, or buy some food, because you definitely want the bonuses from all of it. Okay, I think we just drive to, yeah, down there. Okay. I was really kind of hoping that we would find somebody to unlock more. Let's hit the treasure spot while we're right here. Of course, I can't see it. There it is. just, you know, make sure just the stairs. There we go. Yeah, also, the stairs are a really good indicator to let you know if, like, there's an area that you can go
Sure.
to or so. Because some of this, like, TV show, I'm not sure. We'll have to check on that. There's another item. Oh, yeah, I remember. The coin. I'm going to take a look at that. It will actually be an elemency if we create a new spell. Hope that I just throw something like a ton of fire. I didn't even need this much. And then the coin is probably going to be down here. Oh, where I just saw. Oh, I just lost my eyes in that. Oh, never mind. Don't exactly feel like where the coin would be. Oh, there it is. Okay, so doesn't really fit. Okay, it gives us extra experience. Yeah. So that's what that coin will do. Oh, there we go. And this is also what I wanted to check out, the castle or whatever. So it gives us a chain lightning, a quad cast. That's really nice. Now we can't There
So,
we go.
Noct,
It's like, no, I don't want
what are you gonna do when we get to Kyan?
Here's another
Yeah.
item.
Get ready to go to
But
Altissia, I
usually,
guess.
Right.
I don't want to say always,
Can't
but
keep
I
Lady Luna
usually
waiting.
do find like a blue item, or I guess just a normal item, not too far away from where some of the treasured items are, like the reddish orange items. No, I want to drive. Oh, he has to drive because of
All right,
Iris.
move out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whenever you go for those
And
treasure
away
spots
we
and you
go.
find like the red glow item on the map or so out in the open world, look around, because I believe most of the time you're going to find another, we'll say uncommon or normal, blue item close by.
I could have gone another round.
Given her prowess, you should be glad you didn't.
Yeah, the Loki guy was nothing compared to her.
Though we may not have fared so well without the Marshal.
Think things would have gone differently if he were here now?
Well, she offered to play again. Maybe we'll get the chance to find out.
So yeah, we just moved on. We definitely missed. I think I know of at least 2 or maybe 3 of the red items that are stashed around the outside of the fort. We can get to it any time. Go back and wander around, and then at least a handful, if not 2 handfuls, of regular items out and about there. I think we may have found one. It's just not an extremely enjoyable place because I spent a lot of time wandering around it and doing my own surveying. And you
Is it
end
me
up
or is this place begging to be explored?
running this whole
ever been
pipeline.
one to
'cause
turn
you
down
can't
an
get across it,
invitation?
and then you
If
come
what
up
they
to a
say
point where it's
about the
just like, oh
Malmum
nope, now
thicket
you're
is
pinched
true,
and dead. So run all the
then
way.
we might
or
just
you're
find
dead.
what we're
Now
looking
you're
for
pinched and
here.
can't go anywhere. I guess why not? Defeat the monster in the innermost sanctum. Okay.
I don't like the woods. Too many monsters.
You kidding? What could be better than roughing it out here?
A million other things could be better.
I don't remember if I actually
We made it.
recall picking up this hunt or what it's wanting me to do, but go about it. I mean, these side quests are always nice, and I think it's kind of how far do we have to go? I need to get used to my quick button here. That looks actually quite a ways away.
While you guys were gone, I saw a chocobo run past, and it had a person on its back. Have you guys ever ridden one before?
That's
I bet it'd be super fun.
really
Funny
funny.
you should
that she
ask.
says that.
Noct, call a bird for the lady.
I'm actually looking to see if there is a bird. I don't see it. Oh, and she gets a red one. Look at that. There's your campground to eat and store up. Not worried about it. Come on, jump. I'm gonna double check our map. Yeah, we might have to go down and around for a little bit. There's an item. That looks like a bridge to cross. Yeah, I mean, all of these elements that we're seeing
Oh,
here
yeah.
definitely
Forgot about
look
those.
like it's taking us towards the dungeon. Plus, when that says anything like a sanctum, I mean, that's pretty much another word for dungeon. At least in this game. Hey, I know it's hitting me with the monster something. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, we're on the bird. Here's more crap. Crab's not really that exciting.
The hunt is on.
No, it's not. Oh, the hunt is on. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we might have missed our route. It looks like we did.
How many times?
Enough talk. Time for some action.
Okay, I can see it on my own. I didn't pay attention to that. There we go. Oh, so it's running and dodging monsters. Another item. These are probably great items. You know, I really don't. It's probably because it's a new game plot now. It's because I know how this game plays, and to my knowledge, there's not much, if anything, that we can miss by just not taking care of it at the end rather than at the beginning. I mean, unless things like, some of these things suggest you do, so we'll do it. And some things you just can't do until you or some things you have to do to progress the storyline, all that stuff. Oh, that's that.
I'm going all out.
Thing. Yeah,
Just don't get too carried away.
You're out of talk.
we are actually here. Oh, that's right. It's getting
One shot! Pronto! You rang? Gotta love it!
now, there's a quest with this thing. Here,
Sweet! Pronto! Thought you'd never ask! You like that?
just get you. I think it is.
Prince of Pain.
Yep.
How do you find time to take pictures in the middle of a fight?
It ain't easy, Iris. But if I don't, no one will.
I mean, would that be a problem?
I found it's just better to let him do his thing.
No, we have to keep moving. I also just paid attention to that. Her health is 212. We don't want her involved in anything. And now that I'm thinking about it, I hope she stays out of the dungeon and doesn't come down in there with us. Because then she's somebody else I have to worry about keeping alive. I thought that was the whole point of all of this, too, was that we were worried about her life. Keep using my quick. Two different things going on. We got the dungeon entrance, but then we have the thicket, it looks like. Shoot. Come on. I need to... Oh, maybe we have to... Okay, this is where, yeah, we might have to go into the entrance here.
Thanks for the
And
ride.
then it'll take us through to the other side.
Aw,
So we'll-
thanks, buddy.
Come on.
The storm has
We're gonna
passed.
get a movie there for a second since it went dark.
Are you up for it?
I'm down.
Step lightly in here.
There's no telling what'll crawl out of the woodwork.
Well, I'm trying to attack it.
I'll have these guys wiped out before you know it.
Is that so? All right, prove it. You guys
Have
kick
one mag
ass.
attack.
You mean it?
Yeah, you look cool doing it too.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
There,
Don't
yeah.
take it to heart.
Why did I think I saw something? Because I did. It was there.
Wouldn't want to squish some slimy bug and ruin my nice kicks.
Mercy!
No one Mr. Nice Guy!
The wicked.
Yeah, look where you're going!
Oh, sorry about that.
Thunderbolt. Oh, shoot. is so bad. Yep, keep an eye on, and even though it's a one-way, you can still kind of get turned around and head back towards the entrance. You've got these markers that help keep you. But
Find
just
anything
because it's in
rare or
front of you
exotic
doesn't
yet?
mean that you'll
Slow
have to
down.
make that little
We
path
just
along
got
the
here.
twist and
You know,
turned around and air.
Roca here, babbling?
a regular river, I'd say.
Oh, you think we have time to cast a line?
Sorry, bud.
Checking that looked like
Need you to
it was an
reel
open
yourself
area.
in
Is
this
there
time
anything
around.
else that we missed? Oh, right there. 4 different items. Wow. Normally don't find 4 together. Those 3 are probably the prismatic shard, and then this is probably the so yeah, 3 shrooms and a prismatic shard. That makes sense because the harvested items always come in 3. Gotta get used to the quick button for the map instead of opening up the menu and then trying to click it.
Do your best, guys.
Our best would be overkill here.
Let's be done with this riffraff.
Knocked another one out.
Woohoo! Victory!
Victory
remembered it
indeed,
was
when
there.
we're all safe.
Okay, maybe 100 feet at best. A lot of these shards. And we're just going to collect them for now. Again, I'm not too keen on selling things. Even playing all the way through and coming back, I know
Hey,
most
I know those runes.
items have no significance.
We should set up camp.
Sell them. Key items
You a
off
fortune
the-
teller now?
another
You can
area.
rest up or move on.
Or
It's
don't.
your choice.
Allow you
One shot.
I think they just regrouped and healed us for a second. Let me think how that does. Where is it? Items. Yeah, so yeah, key items. It does give you our own little thing that's a little different of it. But it can be overwhelming. What's going on? It can be a little overwhelming at first because there's just so many items and you don't know what's good, what's bad, you know, and how to sort through them. You know, you can always do the value trick. Well, this item is not valuable a lot higher than this, so, you know, so I can use it. I want to fall down. Well,
Don't think we can go any further down without winding up at the bottom.
Time to start moving upstream.
Oh man, my underwear's soaked.
I really hope that's from the river.
Way down a wee bit.
Don't tell me there's nothing down here. I can't go any further. The most difficult dishes you cook, the faster you cook. Okay, oh, that makes sense. I just ran right up the water column like it was nothing. Yeah, you know, I've been seeing it. It's been
Here.
pestering us. This is now one outside and one right here. You usually get some kind of element energy close by, usually. So we'll camp.
Wait, are we seriously sleeping here?
You see a better place?
Valid point. Yeah, take the 1 AP that we get for that. We'll get accumulate our experience. More importantly, we'll get a cook a dish. Yeah, I haven't really ever paid too much attention to the finesse. I mean, again, your score is your score. You can still keep playing through. I have a ton of these, and that's decent. Not the greatest thing out there, though. I want to find something that's somebody's favorite food, because that always does. Oh yeah, a cup of noodles, get that, but we don't have a lot of ingredients of it. So I'm going to save those, because that experience boost could be better used on something else. This one's always good, and they usually have the supplies for it. And these these ones are obviously more of the basic. Not that they're not bad, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with this. It's nothing great, but it is favorite, and I have a ton of those items. So yeah, I mean, it's go for experience if you know you're like an end game, or you're going to be spending a ton of hours killing and killing, and you can grab an experience, basically from a good dungeon, post-game dungeon, or maybe a boss kill, depending on what level you are. So grab the extra experience boosts there, and don't waste them here earlier on.
Oh, hey, it's me!
At the
Not a
couple
bad
meters,
shot if
there's
I
more
do
of a
say so
rare
myself.
item, you
Not
look for
bad.
the recipe, they talk about it all. And I have 2 of them now, so I don't want to use those up. Okay, with heaps as food. But
Morning!
I think
Who's
that
ready
was
to
for
kick some
anybody,
ass?
So it just depends on whose favorite food you feed.
Take
Obviously,
care,
we're pretty
the
much
current
all right.
doesn't
He is
carry
almost
you
the
away.
class. He's an
I'm not
character.
sure my
He's
footwear
playing.
is up to this.
Don't let yourself get pulled in!
Not to say that that is right. Hey!
Watch out! See ya!
No one missing nice guys.
Stay there!
You ready?
Brilliant.
No big deal.
Get back in the groove.
Eurus, you okay?
Hey, okay. What about you, Noct?
I'm full.
All good over here.
Need it. And I'm full on that too. I don't feel like actually making the crafting more right now. So I'll just leave my guys at full until I need to. I have magic on me, and there's times and places for it. I don't know every monster's weakness, so I usually just go after it with
Cold, cold.
That's not to say
Freezing cold.
You ought to stand under that waterfall.
if you
What
find
it
like a
just
group of
keeps
5 or
going on
more
from
huddled
here.
really close
Then we
together,
keep
yeah,
going
drop
too.
Drop an area. All
This
magic
place
kind
is
of area.
cozy?
Just drop it
Well,
all right there.
I wouldn't get too comfy if I were you.
Right. Not out of the woods
Freeze
yet.
them all, burn them all, electrocute them, whatever it is you're gonna do.
Man, am I glad.
All
Not
right,
so
here's
glad
our
anymore.
guy.
Not surprised
It's
either.
what we came for.
Let's have it.
Huge hit.
Ignis! If I may.
There we go.
Here you go, Noct.
Nothing wanting work. Next game.
Cool. Acquire the power of the royal tomb. That's just what this is right here. Just another royal tomb.
Knocked. You might want to see this.
Score! It's all about that treasure.
Okay, so this is probably one that they knew about, and that's why they suggested I stop and pull over here. Good thing we did, because it actually led to a sword. I was pretty sure it would when it says the words like sanctum or beast like this, kind of is hinting that that's like, hey, go grab your special weapon. Let's see, it's the polearm one, I believe. Just working our way through these.
Feels good to get it done.
Yeah, almost makes up for the soaked socks and bug bites.
We got a little bonus experience for that. We'll check that out really quick. Oops. So scepter. Okay. Oh, so it's not exactly a spear, but it's shorter. It's a scepter. Okay. Interesting. What was its bonus? I didn't pay attention to that too much. Some good bonus. Might even be worth leaving on. Oh well, I thought. Really
Eyes forward.
And if I need
Didn't
my ring,
mean
I'll
to
just
do that.
switch it. It's not hard. It doesn't take long either. Probably is it gonna let us warp back to the beginning most of the time? I haven't seen the option, so maybe not. It's just gonna be that quick. No, I don't think so. Oh no, the rental period ended. I'm gonna get out now. I'm gonna have to walk. So I did want to look around to see if I could find one of those posts to extend it, but I didn't see one. Come on, buddy. Stop getting caught up on things.
Then we'll climb at the top. Plow right through them. I'll circle around.
You were great, Noct.
Okay, take an item. And let's say
Try this. It doesn't look like I checked all of that area. I probably could have looked a little bit more. Maybe missed a corner edge there. I'm not trying for perfection here, and I do think we might actually come back to this area later. Because I think it's something like close to like half of the swords have like
Time for some
maybe it's not quite half, maybe it's less than that, but we've already found that the
Let's do this.
Right.
we ran into things ice cave.
You said
we
it.
did find a way. Go left, grab the sword, or
Victory!
go right, and then
Victory
straight
indeed.
And pretty sure, by the way, well, actually, I already know from the first playthrough that yeah, we're not getting that key until post game, or just about. And I think it is straight up post game that you get that. But it'll be worth it. It definitely extends the fun of the game. You know, what we're looking at right now, yeah, I don't even really want to call them dungeons, you know, sanctums. They're playgrounds. The ice cavern was a little bit, and I find that interesting too because it can, if you're not really paying attention, get turned around easily or don't use your map, you can definitely fall off the edges and have to circle back a few times, or even just circle around aimlessly for a while. Which the dungeons aren't so much like they're going to circle you around. It's more like they're going to branch
Hostiles
off,
on your right.
Thanks.
a tree branch or a tree, you know, path diverges, 3 or maybe 4, I think. Well,
Tread lightly.
You come from 1, so 3 I think is the max other choices you have. But you know, only one
I'll
of
have
those
these
paths
guys
will
wiped out
lead
before
to
you know it.
Is
go.
that so?
The other
All right,
two
prove it.
dead ends eventually. You know, how many other choices you make until you get to the dead end. How elaborate it is. We'll get over those, no. So yeah, when you're in the real heat of them, they are a little bit more linear, which is a little unfortunate, but
they, you know, house the dead ends, which sometimes, you know, house a really good item. So you might want to go down the dead end just to get the item if it's of importance to you. And then yeah, obviously, diving deep enough down, you will end up getting down to the dungeon boss. There may be a couple mid-bosses on the way, and there may be a few harder
The breeze
monsters.
feels so good.
Well, there definitely will be a few higher rank or higher class, whatever you want to think about it. You know, the type of monsters that'll either have complete immunity from some things, or are just like, in a sense, crafty enough or fast enough that they are just a pain to kill by normal means. Which is really nice. It can kind of almost be cool if there is a dungeon. I'm not sure.
Enemy on your left.
My knowledge
Got
at this
it.
point, you know, where it was just like every monster in there, you had to use some special effect or manipulate their vulnerability, I should say. And we do have things like scan. One day I'll use the right button for that. Where am I trying to go now? Way there. Alright, I can return to the car. I don't know why I didn't try that earlier. I may have had to definitely get out of the thick. Well, I definitely have to get out of the dungeon first, but then maybe. No, pretty much just the dungeon. Once we're out in the open world, it should be fine. You know, maybe a few more feet away from the entrance. That works good for us. And now we can go the rest of the way.
Let's hit it.
Sure.
Yep. So nice little side quest. I mean, I'm really glad I stopped. Some of those things you're just like, oh, just want to take another picture again? That's annoying. And that's actually what I thought he wanted to do at first, but I'm glad I looked at it and realized, and it did seem a little off too. It seemed a little different than, you know, him wanting to take a picture, but the choice. So followed it through, and then, you know, remembered it took us down there for the scepter. So we've gotten a handful of the king's weapons, but we're definitely don't even have half yet. So we, you know, keep plugging away.
Are you guys excited to visit Altisha or what?
I guess.
I'm so jealous.
We're not going on vacation.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Iris?
Something wrong?
What? No, I'm fine. I'm not jealous. I just had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. But that'll all be in the past once we hit Kayam.
What are you talking about?
We can hang out anytime, right?
Yeah.
Let's pull over for a sec.
How come?
I gotta give the driver a break every now and then.
If you say so.
Wonder why no one ever thought of that before.
Because no one ever had a little sister along for the ride.
I guess so.
That was a tight squeeze.
Sorry for cramping your style.
Calm down. I'm just kidding.
Not my fault you're too big for the back seat.
I'll take that.
Sounds
free
like
item.
Lady Lunafreya is staying in Altisha.
Is it safe for her there? I mean, Accordo is Imperial territory.
Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah, it still wants us to go there. Let's see. There's no stairs downward. No stairs up there. Like there's two sets of people here, but no car. How'd they get here?
Heard about the Imperial base? Yeah, some Lucians went in and raised hell. They raised hell all right. Put the base commander in the hospital.
Yeah, I didn't need to hear either of those side comments from those people. Well, there might have been something else there that I just failed to find, but I'm done with that. Just move on. If I jump over that fence, I'm not getting
Smells
back
like
up.
there's salt in the air.
Sea breeze. We're on the
Wow. It's beautiful.
picture perfect.
I don't want to go too far from the car because look, there really wasn't much. I would have just been running and running and running.
Get a load of this beautiful view.
Yeah,
It was like a
like
safety
something
thing
out of a
built
dream.
in,
Just don't fall asleep on me.
But I did not see much importance for us to stop there. Unless maybe we had to
Wow.
do something else.
Look at that
earlier,
bridge
trigger
up
some
ahead.
event, and somebody else
Some
would
piece
show
of
up
work
there,
right
and
there.
get-
The rivers run wide out here, so the bridges run long.
Guess I'll see it when we cross.
You know, like some, like the Star Ocean games and some of the other Japanese JRPGs, and even just RPGs.
Wanna get a closer
set
look?
In general,
That what?
can have these really weird, elaborate side quests
We made it.
for. Okay, so here there is somewhere to go down. So let's check this out. Plus, I do see the mining. But yeah, some of the older games, and not even older, but other games as well, had these really weird side quests where it's like you had to talk to, you know, almost some random, well, not random, but some specific person in each town at certain points throughout the game, loop back a lot, you know, run around in circles, talking to this person and talking to that person, and then they would be, you know, show up at the right time for you to talk to somebody else, blah, 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 blah. And then after, you know, 20, 50 different interactions, you get this
Enemy on your left.
Got it.
item that a lot of the game didn't really explain how to get. You just kind of had to keep helping people and talking.
I'll have these guys wiped out before you know it.
Is that so? All right, prove it. Do your best, guys.
Our best would be overkill here.
None the worse for wear.
Nice work, everyone.
Worst should be overkill here. Okay. Let's first actually check to see if there's really anything that we can do or go this way. It's kind of almost looking like it's blocking us off. So I don't think so. I just want to make sure, yeah, no water. Okay. So if that's the case, let's try to round the shoreline over here. If it's going to let us go a little bit farther, there may be something. You know, worst comes to worst, it's also just an open world place to hunt a monster or two before you enter into the city. Which is interesting, but I feel there's going to be at least one item out here if we look properly. I wonder how things are going to be if it gets dark. I don't know if they'll continue driving at night. Oh, this is, okay, now we've got some things popping up here. Down, get these. Mollusk, okay. I think we can climb back up here. I'm kind of, yeah, I'm looking for a dungeon entrance now. We've already seen 2 elements and a campground, and now there's a hidden treasure. Tell me that's it. Gemstone, okay. Well, I'm almost 100% sure we'll find frost somewhere. I would hope that there's more than just this campground. Oh, well, maybe that's it. Then there's fishing. Let's show this part of the map. If there's our frost, I knew we would find that. There, they do a good job about giving us all 3 elements when you're like out in the open of that. Down here, grab a few more items. Dark shell. Actually might be decent ingredients to cook with. I'm not familiar with them. Going a little bit further because I see some more. It does look like there might have been a spot back there, but I'm not sure. I didn't see a way through any of the cliffs to get into it. Let's check the map really quick. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that is something right in this area there or not. And I imagine we're pretty much
much at the end here now. Is there going to be anything though at the very edge, the very point? It doesn't look like it. Oh. I opened up my eyes and we do see it now. Come on. And that's like in the water almost. Meh. All that for a silver? Come on. I mean, I guess it sells. You can get some gill off of that, but I was kind of hoping for something a little nicer for coming all the way out here. But an accessory is still an accessory. Let's go back to the campground area there and just check out. Actually, we may have to camp now that I think about it. We don't want to try to deal with the car hassle. This kind of makes it look like there's somewhere that cuts over through, but maybe that's just it. Yeah, and the campsites are always nicely marked with all of these.
And here we are.
Alright, well, we'll just camp so that
Better
we
start
have a fresh
preparing for
morning, jump
supper.
up to the car and then go
let me help.
Then we can pretty much hit the town, I think, and move on. We're ready to set sail. Part of me is like, why did I just do this? Okay, again, make somebody's favorite food. I got plenty of that. Yeah, just getting all bonuses when and where we can. I don't know if that'll actually last long because I think we'll get to the city and then probably end it again, which is annoying. I don't want to do fishing yet. I'll show fishing at one point, but I don't want to do it
Let's
right
hit it.
now.
Sure.
I kind of want to. Oops, do we? There we go. I got to get used to the quick button. Stop going through the menu. So many of the games I've played lately have had, you go into the menu and then that's how you get into the map, so it's more like habit for me to do it.
Morning. Who's ready to kick some ass?
Hey, that's third time. All right, we're breaking the language barrier.
So, you're the one doing all the cooking.
More or less.
Gladdy, don't you help? Knocked?
On occasion.
What occasion?
I do my part. I always set the table.
That's some arrangement you guys have here.
This the place?
Sure is. Thanks for the lift, Ignis.
My pleasure.
Can't wait to see my buddy Talcott.
I was like, oh, we're just dropping her right here. Dropping her right here. This kind of seems like a weird spot to drop a girl off.
We need to replenish our supply of curatives.
Gotcha.
He makes a point. You can take a look at a shop and see that. Prompto's got. Oh, Prompto has his bonus. That's probably his food I took. I'm gonna hit this thing and rent him again because I have the money. I just have 7 days on it in case I come across it again. This thing doesn't look like there's much interaction there. There's something back there though. And then here's where we probably buy our goods.
Hello there.
Trying to think though.
Thank you.
Those, just to really have them. Some of these things would probably be worth looking into, how they manipulate, boost, they tell you, boost magic and stuff. You buy all your ingredients. A lot of times I forget to look through here to be like, oh, let me just pick up a few of these items because they'll work for multiple dishes. And then you can really increase. Let's see. Okay, so you can right and left trigger to see all the dishes that it's useful for. That's cool. I like that. So know if you need to buy more. I'm not again going to focus on them. It's like fishing reel. These are lures. I have them, so I'm not going to buy the lures. I don't have the money for that, and it's not in stock. And whatever that is, I already have it, so don't need those.
Till next time.
Yeah, it is always worthwhile to check out the vendors though, because you never know. Like they might not all
Okay,
just carry
these
weapons,
birds
or
are
only
freaking
just carry
adorable.
potions. There may be a key item or something hidden on them. I would say hidden, but in one of the other
Pretty
menus.
impressive lighthouse.
Let's say we head on up.
What's up?
Knew it was y'all. Recognize the purr of that engine anywhere.
Well, that makes sense why her.
You know your stuff.
This thing here, her.
Aw, thanks, buddy.
Oh, there we go. Heart with Irish Scott Gas.
Thanks for the ride. It was fun.
How's the boat?
Pawpaw's tinkering away. Reckon he'll be tinkering for some time.
Trouble at sea.
Seen her share by the looks of her. Some parts we can fix, others need replacing.
An overhaul.
Don't y'all worry. Pawpaw ain't going nowhere till the job's done. Parts won't fetch themselves, though. Was kinda hoping y'all wouldn't mind helping out with that.
We're at your disposal.
To tell the truth, we already got a couple hands on deck. Dustin and Monica. Those two have been real swell. Managed to gather just about everything we need.
You can depend on the Crown's Guard.
Trouble is, they ain't had much luck finding a certain something by the name of Mithril. Apparently the stuff's hard to come by around these parts. At least according to the little fella from the city.
Talcott?
You betcha. Sharp as a tack, that one. Could tell y'all more about the stuff than I could.
We'll be sure to ask.
I'll just keep following her.
Pawpaw's down on the dock. Now, if y'all'll excuse me, I'm gonna grab my tools and ski-daddle. Got a garage to look after.
Prince Noctis! Hey! Our house is over here! Right this way! I think Miss Cindy might have told you already, but she needs a very special kind of ore called Mithril to fix the boat. Remember the waterfall? I read in Grandpa's notebook. There's some ruins near a lake just north of there. It said you'll find Mithril inside.
Alright. Let's see that right here. I'm starting to get an idea of the next stuff. But I think this is a good spot. And to save it up, always have our saves going. I don't do them as often as I should. But definitely do it. Alright, and yeah. Thanks for watching. And have fun playing games.